Seaside Dream by Janet Costa Bates. Cora couldn't remember the last time so many people had squeezed into Grandma's house. Joyful shouts filled the air, and there were hugs all around every time an aunt, an uncle, a cousin, or a friend walked through the doorway. Some hugs came with kisses. Some hugs came with hearty pats on the back. Some hugs even came with happy tears. Piedade, Uncle Manny greeted Grandma. Tomorrow's the big day, your 70th birthday, a once-in-a-lifetime thing. Grandma smiled and reminded him, every birthday is a once-in-a-lifetime thing. Family and friends had come from across the country and across town to celebrate Grandma's birthday. Cora felt she was the luckiest one of all. She came from right next door. Cora and her cousin Gabe kept an eye on the parade of presents coming into the house. There were boxes of all sizes wrapped in colorful paper and tied with ribbons and bows. "I don't have a present for Grandma," Cora whispered to Gabe. "She doesn't care if you give her a present," he said. "I know," said Cora, "but I care." In no time, the house was overflowing with stories, laughter, and food. Everyone was busy cooking for the big party the next day. Mostly they cooked Cape Verdean food since some family, like Grandma, had come to the United States from the Cape Verde Islands. "Why is there so much food?" asked Cora. "When your grandmother was still in Cape Verde, there wasn't always enough food," said Aunt Celia, "but now we are blessed with enough to share." Have you ever been to a big family celebration? What kinds of food did you eat? What was your favorite part of the celebration? Uncle Manny dipped a spoon into a large pot and held it out to Cora for a taste. "That's good cachupa, no?" he said. "It's manchupa," Aunt Celia said of the stew. "On my island, we call it cachupa," insisted Manny. "Well," said Aunt Celia, "you come from the wrong island." They both laughed. Cora and Gabe looked at each other and shrugged. Manchupa, cachupa, it all tasted the same to them. Cora liked being surrounded by family, but she missed having Grandma all to herself. She missed the walk on the beach she and Grandma took almost every day in the summer. After dinner, Cora left the noisy kitchen for the quiet back porch where she could watch the moonlight sparkle on the ocean. She tried to think of a birthday gift for Grandma. Cora was lost in thought when Grandma found her. "I am thinking of taking a beach walk," said Grandma. "But it's nighttime," said Cora. "It might be scary out there by yourself." "Then maybe someone could come with me and hold my hand." Maybe someone could. Cora was happy to have Grandma all to herself again. When Cora had Grandma to herself, what did she like to do with Grandma? Grandma and Cora walked along the water's edge, listening to the sea. Cora tossed a shell into the water and watched as the waves rocked it, carrying the small shell farther and farther away from the shore. Grandma stood silently looking out at the ocean. "What's out there?" Cora asked Grandma. "Ora, my sister." "Across the ocean in the old country. The night before I left Cape Verde, there was a warm breeze just like tonight. We stood on the beach and made a promise that we would send each other as many montañas as there are stars." "As many what?" "Montañas, messages. Sending a montaña is like saying hello, but more. It means, though you are far away, I want to keep you in my life." What promise did Grandma make to her sister Ora? Uncle Manny always said that Grandma had a smile so bright that it shone through her eyes. But now Cora saw sad eyes, not smiling ones. Cora wondered what it would feel like to be so far from someone you loved for so long. "Why did you leave Cape Verde?" asked Cora. "For a long time there was no rain on the islands, so no food would grow," Grandma said. "Many people were starving. I could not stay." "Why didn't Ora come with you?" "She said the islands were home. She could not make herself leave." "You could visit Ora," Cora said as she and Grandma sat down on the sand. "Almost 40 years ago, I came here on a boat," Grandma said. "The journey was long and difficult, and I have not forgotten it. I will not do it again." "You could take a plane. A plane would be fast," Cora told her. Grandma shook her head. "You made it across the sea once," Cora said. "I know you could do it again." The smile slowly slipped back into Grandma's eyes. She gave Cora a big hug and said, "My Cora, you have such faith." That night, as Cora lay in bed, she listened to the waves through the open window. The splashes and swooshes lulled her to sleep. Soon she began to fly the way you can fly only in a dream. Cora skimmed the tops of the waves, soaring across the ocean until she saw a beach. On the beach was a woman standing tall and straight, with her silver-colored hair pulled back like a bun, just like Grandma's. Cora watched as the woman picked up a shell, gave it a kiss, and tossed it into the water. From way up high, Cora watched as the ocean waves carried the shell farther and farther away from the shore. The next morning, Cora woke up knowing just what to give Grandma for her birthday. Cora would have to work quickly to finish her present before the party. While everyone was busy getting ready for church, Cora got dressed and slipped outside. She gathered what she needed, then went back to her room and put everything together. Just as Cora was tying the ribbon on her gift, she heard her mother call, "Cora, come on, time to go." After church, it was time for Grandma's party. They all walked to the beach carrying plates and platters, bowls and pots brimming with food. Gabe looked very important carrying the birthday cake. Uncle Manny struggled with a large stack of colorful presents. "You drop the gifts? Then no one chupa," Aunt Cecilia teased. "Ka chupa," Uncle Manny said, laughing. Cora carried her own present that she had wrapped in a small paper bag. They ate for what felt like hours and hours to Cora. At last it was time for Grandma to open her gifts. Everyone oohed and ahed when Grandma opened a big box containing a hat for church, then another with a hat for gardening. Someone even gave her a hat for the beach. Cora wanted to give Grandma her present when they were alone. She waited while Grandma opened each gift slowly so as not to tear the paper. She watched as Grandma saved the ribbons and bows, gently putting each one aside. Cora almost couldn't stand it when Grandma stopped to give a big hug to the giver of each gift. Grandma closed her eyes for a moment. When she opened them, she gazed out across the water. "Cora," she said, "an airplane to Cape Verde. Pretty fast, no?" "Very fast," Cora replied. Grandma turned to Cora. I'm thinking maybe I could go visit. Would you go by yourself? Asked Cora. Maybe someone could come with me to hold my hand, said Grandma. Cora's face lit up, a smile shining through her eyes. Maybe someone could, she said. How did Grandma feel when she was talking about her life and her past? Go back to the text and find evidence that shows Grandma's feelings.